The Tainted Love Network presents It's Getting Drafty in Here with Magnificent Stan, a show about nothing.
Well, what's the show about? About nothing.
With special guests.
We're on the clock.
Then when are we sending in the ticket? I already sent the ticket.
Hello, welcome to episode 6 of It's Getting Drafty in Here. I am your host, Magnificent Stan, otherwise known as Brian. And today's episode, we are going to be drafting comedy television shows. Kind of a battle royal. It didn't do any restrictions, anything like that. I figured because the Ass Crew was on, there's going to be some chaos. So kind of what I wanted to do here. So we're just going to get right into it. Let me introduce our guests here. First of all, we have our buddy Al. How you doing?
Hello. Thanks for having me, Brian.
Right on. Wonderful having you. Next, we have Sam. What's up, Sam?
Not much. Thank you for having me on, Brian. This is awesome.
Wonderful. All right. And then finally, we have Celeste. What's going on, Celeste?
Hey, Brian. Thanks for having me. The rest of us.
Awesome. Well, first of all, actually, I did skip over. I wanted to thank our boys at the 108 as well as the Sox Machine boys for putting together a hell of a shindig over the weekend over at Reggie's. 108 Day was awesome. I don't remember half of it, but it's definitely a good time to be had, and I look forward to going to many more of those. But yeah, so let's get right into the draft. Like I said, we didn't have any restrictions. This is any comedy television show, and I didn't even set any restrictions on what comedy is. So I'm hoping someone, I said this in the pre-show, I hope someone drafts The Wire as a comedy, because that'll be some fun content. But all right, Al, what do you got for number 1?
I am gonna go with my probably top 2 classic, good old Leslie Knope and Parks and Rec.
Good choice.
Damn right. That was definitely towards the top of my list. So, definitely one of those shows where you have a group of characters. Like I feel like when they started the show, is all about Amy Poehler, but kind of like The Office as well, where it's like they just fused into a little bit of everybody. So
Bye little Sebastian. R.I.P.
Oh, poor little Sebastian. That's one of my favorite parts is when Ron, like Ron Swanson, who's usually kind of a cold fish, sees little Sebastian for the first time and just absolutely loses his shit, you know.
I also like to channel my inner Tom and Donna and treat myself.
Treat yourself. Donna is one of my favorite characters on that show. She don't take no shit, and she can get whatever she wants, including Ben.
I love Aubrey Plaza. So.
Aubrey, Aubrey.
Well, she's with us right here.
If I had a fucking dime.
Oh man.
Jackie's right. John Ralphio is the best character.
John Ralphio and his sister, yes.
Because technically I'm homeless.
And then my personal favorite, one of my favorite, probably top 2-3 characters in history of television is Ron Swanson. So
Nick Offerman is so good.
Give me all the bacon and eggs you have.
I love the episode. Like, one of my favorite Ron Swanson episodes is when he breaks the coffee pot and then just basically gaslights everyone else.
Just keeping them on their toes. Oh man. Well, I don't think anybody has any problems with your first pick. So this isn't going to be like a Paperboy or a Muppet Christmas Carol situation. And then watch. I'm waiting for Jackie to just respond very angrily that I mentioned Paperboy. Money, please. Baloney. All right. So Sam, let's go with number 2.
Well, we're going to stay in the Mike Schur universe and pick the greatest show ever created, and that's The Office.
All right. Same creator.
Yeah.
Mike
Schur, Greg Daniels. Fantastic.
Yeah. It's funny that what is it? Dwight's cousin is the creator of both of those shows. Have you ever listened to his baseball podcast?
I have. He did one of the
great.
broadcasts for the White Sox when they were out in L.A. with Benetti
He did.
a couple years ago when he was doing the old Bill Walton experience too.
So, who is your favorite character on that show?
Oh God, Creed Bratton is definitely number one there. Kevin Malone's number 2 probably.
I actually used to work with a guy that looked exactly like Kevin Malone, and actually he had that voice and talked like this. Would you like to buy some lawn care?
Yeah. I mean, obviously the easy money is on Michael Scott because Steve Carell was deservedly should have won every Emmy every year for that show and never did, and it's a crime that he didn't. Because there is no The Office without Steve Carell. There isn't.
Yeah, and it kind of fell apart when he left a little bit. When you started to put it around Andy Bernard, it was a little just a little off. But yeah, it's one of those shows that I think the subject matter. Actually, I was actually talking to Marge about this in the car on the way home from 108 Day. It's like one of those shows. Even it's still recent, but it's even one of those shows where like subject matter, like I don't know if some of that stuff's gonna fly anymore.
Oh, right. If you ever worked in an office, it's just like that.
Yeah, there's always those people that are super inappropriate and think there's nothing wrong. But
Yumper
right.
with the British Office reference, Ricky Gervais, executive producer of the American Office as well.
You know what? I need to, just in case somebody goes the British route, because that show is pretty goddamn funny too.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, you want to go with the next one, Celeste?
Yep. So I was gonna pick The Office, not because I think it's the funniest, but just to piss Sam off. But since he got drafted before me, I'm gonna go with an all-time classic that I think everyone loves, and it's just the best show to put on, whether you're completely wasted or just high as fuck or just kind of in a bad mood. And I'm gonna go with South Park.
Okay, that's a good one. Nice.
There goes my second pick.
I've always loved that nothing was off limits for them. They always just whatever was happening in the world, they were going to do an episode on it, and it completely made it still made sense, but it was complete gibberish.
Yep. There's classics in there. And then those producers are great. Like the Book of Mormon, I know there's issues with that, but when it came out, I was in London when the Book of Mormon came out, and I was living next to the Mormon church, and they thought it was funny. Like all their advertisements were playing into it totally, and they were good sports. So it was a good time.
If you want to see something funny, they made a horror movie before South Park. Actually, I think it was either before or like right during, like it was just starting. With the people that did Toxic Avenger. It's called Cannibal the Musical, and it's literally a musical about cannibals in like on the Oregon Trail, and it's it's absolutely terrible, but it has like all the characters that all the actors that were in I don't know if you've ever seen Basketball, but all the actors that were in Basketball, which basically obviously those are all their buddies, are in it, but it's terrible, but it's funny as hell. What is your favorite episode
of South Park?
Yeah.
There's like 400 episodes. Ask me.
You want me to go while you're thinking?
Yeah, get back to me on that.
I love the one where they get hooked on World of Warcraft. And I've never been a World of Warcraft guy or anything like that, but like Cartman's mom coming downstairs to like pick up his shit, basically. He brings a bucket for him to shit in while he's playing games.
Bathroom.
Packets. They all become fat asses, and they have to wear like the weird braces on their wrists because they all have carpal tunnel syndrome. That one always cracked.
We need more Bengay.
Anybody in the chat have a? It is on HBO Max, right?
Yeah, I love that it's on HBO Max because if you do it cast it from your phone, you can hit shuffle on it, and you just go all day with it. It's so great.
I always felt like whenever I watched it, though, like for every one incredible episode, there were a couple of ones that were like, "This is really bad," but they still worked it out, you know.
Yeah,
it's
Roxy.
terrible, but it's so good.
Right,
That's what
Roxy
we
with the
talk about.
Nambla episode reference.
I need to pick up on the chat a little more. Sorry, guys. I had a long day.
Very Shitty Walk is a good one too.
Shitty walks, yeah, and then there's the shitty when he built the fence too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Stupid Mongolians.
The Mongolians. And then what about the one where the kids are playing Little League and they keep trying to lose, and the other teams are always trying to lose, and then what is it? Stan's dad keeps getting into fist fights.
I thought this was America.
All right, I'm gonna go with my first one. This is still to this day funniest show I've ever seen in my life. It was one of those shows that actually didn't do very well when it was aired, and then it came back on Netflix. I'm gonna go with Arrested Development.
That was gonna be my next one.
That was
there you
going to be
go.
my sneaky late round pick, possibly, but damn.
I always felt like Parks and Rec was the best cast ever, and then I think Arrested Development was the next one because everybody on that show just hit their roles perfectly. From even like the parents, Jeffrey Tambor's always great at everything. Jessica Walter, and then it always was evened out with Jason Bateman, and then obviously David Cross is probably one of my favorite. Joe Tobias is one of my favorite characters ever.
Oh, he's one of the best sitcom characters of all time.
Yep. I'm afraid I just blew myself. And then you have like all the sneaky jokes in it, like obviously, their first lawyers, Barry Suckercorn, played by Henry Winkler, and then obviously, what's the logical thing to do is replace him by fucking Chachi. So like the Fonz got replaced by Chachi, and then there's a scene where they catch the shark that took Buster's that he ate the seal that took Buster's hand.
Loose seal.
Yeah, loose seal, right. And then obviously Henry Winkler is walking across the dock and he hops over the shark. So he's jumping the shark, literally. But yeah, that show just, I mean, the Netflix stuff I didn't really enjoy that much. But the original aired episodes were brilliant. The cousins, like Michael Cera's like obsessed with his cousin.
George Michael.
Maybe.
He tells his dad that the grandpa's in the attic. I have Pop in the attic, and he goes, yeah, he's like, just you're calling it that. You're not ready, because he thought he was having sex with his girlfriend in the attic. Oh, Gene Parmesan, good call, Carrie.
Gene.
Always money in the banana stand.
There's always money in the banana stand.
No touching. All right. I'm going to go with my second one here. I'm going to go with a recent one. Show just ended a year or two ago. I've already rewatched it like 3 times with my wife. It's one of those shows that my wife and I both love. So we can just throw it on at any point and keep going. And that's Schitt's Creek.
God damn it!
I figured that was going to be a Brian pick.
That was on my backup list.
I had it on my list. Literally, Schitt's Creek. No, Brian's going to pick it.
Oh man, I like I said, I can sit and watch that show forever. David Rose is one of the funniest characters I've ever seen on TV. Obviously, Catherine O'Hara is great. It's just the fam, like the 4 of them, just work it all out.
This was a first round pick that got snubbed.
I'm 0 for 5 on these drafts. I haven't won the poll yet, so I'm looking for blood here. I gotta.
Yeah, you are.
I gotta go with the A material. I was gonna go Faulty Towers for Jackie, but I I don't like Faulty. No, I like Faulty Towers. I just, yeah. Anyway, yeah, I feel like they could have done more with it. It was nice that they ended it while it was at its peak, but it's one of those shows that leaves you hoping for more. You know, you wish there were more than, I think, what, there were 4 seasons.
That's
yeah,
it.
I think
something like that. Yeah.
4 or 5.
Interesting.
Yeah, they didn't want to do it anymore. They thought that it just kind of ran its course. I don't think they thought it was even going to last that long at that point. So and then, you know, like Catherine O'Hara wasn't supposed to actually be the mom. They just had her fill in for the pilot or the reading, and she did so great. They're like, you have to do that. Like, they had to convince her to do it.
How could they not have Catherine O'Hara and Eugene Levy together? Like, they
Right.
are like
forever.
Yeah.
If you catch the Mighty Wind reference, Mitch and Mickey need to be together forever for sure. But all right, let us go with the next one. What do you got for us, Celeste?
All right.
I've ruined your draft already.
You've ruined my entire draft. This is like March Madness all over again. So for number 2, I am gonna go with another show in the same vein as South Park. You can't tell I like to just get high and watch TV a lot, so I'm gonna go with Bob's Burgers.
Celeste is gonna be all cartoons, and everyone else is gonna be all like live actors.
I fucking love adult cartoons.
She did say like that's
there's
literally all she watches.
It's wild how many have just keep you know, spitting them out now. Because we only had a few options when we were younger, or at least when I was younger, all we had was pretty much one for like prime time animated comedy. I never really got into Bob's Burgers. It's probably just because I haven't watched enough of it. But what's great about it?
I mean, it's just like a family that is just fucked up. I don't know, like everyone has a fucked up family, so you relate to it and shit. And it's just like short episodes, and you don't have to pay attention all the time, and it's pretty much always on point. So
The voice acting is incredible.
Oh, John Benjamin's great in everything. Yeah,
he's great in everything he touches.
I was gonna say the Thanksgiving episode. I've never seen an episode of Bob's Burgers, but with no fail, every Thanksgiving I can get the mom on every single platform singing the "Pass the Cranberry Sauce."
Linda Belcher. Steve, what do you mean I'm gonna be dragged for that pick? It's an amazing pick.
It's an early pick, I think, but
no one has dragged her at all yet.
Steve's just mad because we dragged the shit out of him for picking fucking Muppet Christmas Carol. And I love Steve. I'm just messing around.
Bill,
Steve bought one of my.
It did storm the Capitol.
That is true. I forgot about that. That guy was also on Mr. Show.
Oh, yeah, he was.
Yeah. All right, Sam. That was actually, by the way, Mr. Show was actually on my list. So maybe we'll talk about that later.
Steve. My next pick is gonna be really funny later. Curb Your Enthusiasm.
All right. Hey, you told me the other day you didn't like Seinfeld, but you like Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Exactly why it's gonna be funny later. You're the joke.
Hint, Brian. God damn it. Follow. Catch on, Brian. I got it.
Curb is one of the best written shows.
It's not even written. That's the funny part. There's no scripts at all.
It makes me howl laughing every episode. Larry David is ridiculous.
You can't beat Larry David.
Richard Lewis is ridiculous. It's amazing, and it's you never know what the hell he's gonna end it with, and it's just the best. And of course, the music is perfect for every bad situation.
All right. Yeah. Him and Richard. Yeah, Richard Lewis is phenomenal on that, and then Jeff Garland's wife.
Susie Essman.
Susie Essman is you bald prick. She's always such an asshole to him, but he's such a jagoff. It's one of those shows where like you don't like anybody on that. Everybody on that show sucks.
No, exactly.
Everybody is just a complete piece of shit, and you still love it. I follow an account on Instagram that just randomly shoots out Curb videos, and it's one of my favorite follows on Instagram. They had the one the other day where he didn't want anybody sitting next to him at the restaurant, so he kept putting on a MAGA hat. Like everybody put on MAGA hat, they kept walking away. Like he goes sit down and he like put it on and like he would just like look at him and be like, "Hello, friends," and then like walk away. Did you
it's so good.
The one where with the doll? You remember that one?
Yes.
Where he puts the doll head down his pants and he gets a rash from the hair. Celeste, have you seen Curb?
Yes, I have. I'm Jewish. I've seen Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I'm like, well, you looked a little confused for a second, so I'm like, oh, I'm Jewish. Of course, I've seen Curb.
Oh.
All right, Al. Now you got 2 picks coming up here.
Oh boy. I think I just guess it doesn't matter if I go 2 or 3 on either of these. This is one that like wasn't really that popular when it was on, and like got threatened to be canceled. They didn't know if it was coming back, but when it went on streaming Netflix, it picked back up. Love some Zooey Deschanel and New Girl.
Sam and I have talked about New Girl many, many times.
You gave me cookie, I got you cookie.
So underrated.
I just love the dynamic that is created between Schmidt and Nick Miller. Like that friendship, just every time, I'm crying with laughter.
Schmidt's on that Ron Swanson plane for me for characters. He's so damn good. But everybody's good in that. Even yeah. I mean, she's great. Obviously, she's just such a unique person. Like she doesn't give a shit what other people really think about her. Just keep going, you know.
Yeah, I love her.
The car I drive now used to be my wife's, and I only kept one bumper sticker that she had on it, and it's the monkey cracker. Like remember the Russian monkey crackers that the models were calling her.
Monkey, where you keep the crackers.
Oh man, that show is great. It's one of those you can watch. You can just keep watching over and over again for sure.
Yes,
Steve, you got that backwards, buddy. You're the Schmidt to my Nick Miller.
All right.
I'm hoping that one day Yumper will be the Schmidt to my Nick Miller.
You still working on him?
Yeah, we're
gotta give him cookie.
We're getting. I do have to give him cookie.
Give him cookie so cookie. And that's like an early episode too. Yeah. Like it's early in season 1 and it still lives up.
They always had really good guest stars too, like her parents. It was
Jamie Lee Curtis and
Rob Reiner. Yeah, and then Justin Long was her boyfriend, and he was like such a
Megan Fox was on that show for a pretty long time too.
Linda Cardellini plays her sister.
Oh yes. Also, never forget
Prince. Prince.
When Schmidt enters the preschool to go get his daughter, and the little kid's like, "A white man broke in today." A white man? What did they do about it?
Oh yeah, Mailman Jack's reminding us Prince was on there too.
That Prince episode is one of the greatest episodes of TV.
I've seen an interview that they talked about that episode they did with Prince. Like Prince actually asked to be on that show, but his only like stipulation was that he had to help Nick and Jess get back together.
Yep. He was always a strange
I wish I had that power.
Oh yeah, Clayton Kershaw was in that episode too. Yeah, Jordan.
Since I got the all sports scene people on, you guys are big Bulls fans. Have you ever heard the story about Carlos Boozer and Prince?
Yep. Yes,
that shit's so funny. So
one of the funniest stories ever.
So Prince moved to LA to work on a project. Carlos Boozer had a house. Prince rented the house out. Carlos Boozer stopped by just to grab something or whatever, and they had changed the entire house. They like put in new carpeting and they like painted the walls like purple and just like all this weird art and all this goofy shit like all over the place. And Carlos Boozer had a fit, and Prince is like, don't worry, baby. It'll be fixed up. And the minute he moved out, the house went back to the exact same way it was when Carlos Boozer left it. So like they redid the entire house the minute Prince left, and he only was there for like it was like recording an album or something. He was there for like 2 weeks or something like that. But Prince has to have his house exactly how he wants it, and fucking Carlos Boozer, man. I wonder if Prince told him to stop using the shoe polish hair. All right, you got another one here, Al.
All right, this is a oldie but goodie. I'm gonna go Cheers.
Nice.
That's a great one. That's one of the best comedies in history of television, in my opinion. Maybe even number one, for everybody. It's one of those shows that you can watch now, even though it's 35 years old now, and still laugh your ass off.
Also, young Woody Harrelson is he's beautiful. I just got to put that out there.
I always liked Mailman Jack. Who's your favorite character? Was it Cliff?
Best TV mailman ever, Cliff Clavin.
He's kind of like me. He always has like really random bullshit to talk about. And then that's also spun off one of the better comedies of the 90s as well.
Which I haven't gotten to that one yet, but I do plan on it eventually.
Ooh. Well, we'll stop talking about it then. Were you more of a Diane, or did you like what the hell was Kirstie Alley's character's name?
I can't remember right now.
I can't remember either. Did you prefer Shelley Long or Kirstie Alley?
Diane is just whiny. I don't know. I think
the fish out of water element for Diane, she's silver spoon in her mouth and just kind of like in this dingy bar with Carla and everybody. And
I also just like her dynamic with Carla, I think kind of like really helped too. Like you didn't feel bad for Diane all the time because Carla was just giving her shit.
Carla always gave everybody shit.
Well, true.
Yeah, I mean that's a great pick. Great pick. Sam.
I'm gonna take one out of Celeste's book. I'm gonna go with Archer.
This is why we have ants.
That's how you get ants. I just started rewatching it like classic. Saturday night, I think, when I got home, and I even like the first few episodes are just amazingly funny.
It's so fucking filthy. I love it.
And again,
it does fall off at the end, like the later seasons of it, but
I don't know if I've even watched the last season or two.
I haven't watched the newest one, but
just let it stand as it is.
Yeah.
But oh my god, the H. John Benjamin voicing a secret agent like that is just the funniest shit in the world.
One of my favorites was when they're on the train and she brings the cat with.
Yeah.
He's like upset. He's obsessed with the ocelot. What was his name? Babu? Babu! Yeah.
Oh my god, there's an ocelot. There's shit all over the wall.
He comes back and he's got scratches like everywhere.
I like how they flash the ocelot. It just goes, rah! There's like shit and piss everywhere in the train car.
And then all the Burt Reynolds stuff was great.
Yeah, the Burt Reynolds stuff.
That's amazingly funny. I think that's one of the last things Burt Reynolds ever did, because he was pretty damn old when they recorded. And then Jessica Walter, obviously Arrested Development.
Playing his mom.
She's been on here twice now. So H. John Benjamin and Jessica Walter are in the lead.
And the Chris Parnell playing Cyril Figgis is another great voice.
Cyril, I love. My favorite is Pam.
Oh,
my favorite is Cheryl Tutt.
She's absolutely nuts.
Yeah, obviously she's my favorite.
The most nuts character I think I've seen in a show in a while.
And then she became a country music superstar.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay. You want to go with the next one, Celeste?
Yeah, I can't pick what to do next, so I'm just gonna let my mouth do the talking. That's usually what my mouth. Okay. I'm not gonna go animated comedy this time. I'm gonna go out of left field, and I'm gonna pick What We Do in the Shadows.
I have not watched that yet.
Neither have I, but I've heard it's brilliant.
I haven't watched all of it, but
It's
my
so
friend.
fucking good.
I love Matthew Barry. He's fantastic in
It's so
everything he
funny.
does.
Yeah, I wish I could engage on that. I literally haven't watched a single episode.
You have to watch it. I was up till like 2 days ago. I was up till like 4 a.m. watching it with my friends. It's so good.
I think Mailman Jack's gonna like shit his pants if nobody takes Drake and
I'm in San
although
Diego.
although
I
a
might
man
have-
at his age, he was gonna shit his pants anyway. So
It's because nobody let him go in their house anymore.
that's right. He just can't fucking hold it anymore. I knew at some point talking to you guys, we'd be talking about poo. So all right, so I'm gonna go, man. All right. Show's been on for like 40 years. Sure you guys can figure out what I'm gonna go with. It hasn't been good for about 30, but I'm still gonna pick it because it was absolute brilliance and it's at its peak. I'm gonna go with The Simpsons.
Excellent.
I mean that's one of those shows. Even like my 11-year-old nephew watches it. It's
May I just say, my dad used to watch this when he would get home from work, and I wasn't allowed in the room while he watched it. And there is a singular day I remember that I turned the corner and a shark is eating a man, and then the man that gets eaten like chainsaws his way out of the shark's stomach, and I was mortified, and I've never watched. I don't think I've ever seen an episode again.
Oh man, it's just I don't know if you guys aren't old enough to have seen like the Tracy Ullman stuff, which wasn't funny at all, and then they had their own show, and then it got funny.
It's a fucking class. It's definitionally a classic.
Yeah,
that's the law. Yeah.
How many more years do you think they're gonna go with this?
Maybe forever, just because why not?
I actually have a Simpsons themed episode coming up, so not exactly sure when that one's coming, but that one was one of the first ideas that I started working on. That was we actually have like a bunch of restrictions to it. That's going to be with Jackie at some point. So
also the movie The Simpsons, I know we're on TV shows, but the movie when all this shit's going down, the grandpa's going through the Bible and he's like, there's no answers in here. That got me.
Also, that's where Spider Pig started too in this.
Yeah, Spider Pig.
I like when he gets sucked in the movie when he gets sucked into the sinkhole and he's going down and he just and he's like spinning around. Yes, Jordan, that is absolutely correct.
Can we also talk about how many things The Simpsons has like seemingly eerily predicted?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They predicted Trump winning becoming president at one point as well.
So they're to blame.
Yeah, it's all Matt Groening's fault. Yeah, there's I can't remember if it was like season 4 or season 5 when Conan O'Brien was doing the writing for it. It just like hit its peak. Like it was so crisp and so silly, and that you could tell there's an episode where they're making fun of the guy who owns Itchy and Scratchy is making fun of the writers for being eggheads and yelling at them because they all went to Harvard. And that's like all the Simpsons writers were all a bunch of just Harvard like dropouts and they're fucking hilarious. But yeah, I don't watch it anymore, obviously, as I said, but yeah, that show at its peak was probably better. It had the best peak in my opinion. So let's go with the fourth round. I think because of time, I think we're gonna do 5 rounds if that's cool.
That's fine.
All right.
Do it.
I thought I read we were doing 5 rounds. That's what I prepared for.
Okay, good. Yeah, yeah. All right. Rest in peace, Frank Grimes, Maud Flanders. Okay, I'm gonna go with my next one. It's been mentioned in the room a couple of times. I'm gonna pick that. This might be one of those where they're like, "Oh, Brian just like fucked his draft up by picking it." But I am gonna go with a show about a war that was on for 10 years, but the war lasted like 3 years. So I'm gonna go with MASH.
You did the M
stars in between.
Should I?
Gotta do the full thing.
Gotta do that.
I'm gonna get canceled for not doing that. But
gonna lose you the draft.
Just a fantastic show. Alan Alda is awesome, except when he cries. I can't not pick MASH. I'm doing that also. I the last couple of drafts I've made a pick for Brandy, and this is like Brandy's favorite show. And I've seen it a million times. Did you guys have you guys ever watched it?
Honestly, I've not watched it.
Mm-hmm.
My dad
I've
watched
maybe
it. Like,
seen an
sometimes when I was a
episode or
kid,
two.
So one of the funniest things is when they made MASH, when they were filming it, they just kept recycling actors over and over and over and over again, as different characters. So like they're in Korea, and they used like the same little, Vietnamese man to play like 8 different characters throughout the course of the series. So it's like one of those things that you like, if you're ever like binge watching it, you're like, hey, wasn't that guy a soldier like 2 episodes ago and now he's a doctor? Like, what the hell's going on here? But yeah, I think it was written and produced. Yeah, I agree. Mailman Jack, that one's great. And then Darren, yes, Monkey Muffins. The old Colonel Potter, whenever he got mad, he always had these like weird like exclamations, and one of them was whenever he's pissed off, he would yell "Monkey Muffins." Silly shit, Troy McClure of MASH. That's actually perfect, Roxy. I agree with that. But yeah, so if you haven't watched it, it's always on a syndication somewhere. I would recommend it. It's funny as hell, and the jokes still hold up. They're kind of old timey a little bit, but and there's obviously a little bit of sexism in there. Alan Alda's kind of a scumbag with the ladies, but
Who is that?
I mean, yeah, no shows he was. I mean, we're talking about Sam too, right?
I'm only a scumbag for my wife.
I'm only a scumbag. All right, all right, Celeste, what do we got here?
On that note, I'm going with It's Always Sunny.
That was my next one.
Are you more of a day man or a night man? This is a good comment from Roxy. For anybody listening and not watching, Brian speaking of sexism as if it's disappeared.
Yeah, it's like
we won.
Ended with Obama and sexism ended with sitcoms.
It's definitely true. Until you watch a show like How I Met Your Mother, where Barney Stinson's like the biggest scumbag ever. But okay. You want to go next, Sam?
I mean, I am next, so I'd like to go next.
Would you like to go, or do you have anything else for It's Always Sunny, Celeste?
No, just a fucking show.
No notes.
Nothing. I like Danny DeVito.
I'm trying.
Honestly,
So,
okay,
so
okay, here's my plug. Here's my plug, and you should get paid for this, honestly, because celebrity endorsements are fucking stupid. Like, I don't care if the celebrity's on commercial, but you know what? Danny DeVito got me to eat at Jersey Mike's. So I'll just put that out there.
Hashtag ad.
It's Always Drafty in here, presented to you by the Tainted Glove and Jersey Mike's.
All right, moving on.
All right. One thing I wanted to mention: the guy that plays the priest. That's Always Sunny. Rickety Cricket.
Oh yeah.
That is Bones' husband. You ever see the show Bones? Zoe Deschanel's sister.
Yeah. Emily. I think.
Yeah, that's her husband. I always thought that was kind of funny. But all right, let's go, Sam. What you got?
Looking over my list, and I'm gonna go with Scrubs.
That's a good one.
Great one.
I wanted it in the later rounds. I figured it'd take into the later rounds. So
I actually thought about it before I took The Simpsons.
The last season was absolutely god awful.
But that's the best part. It's so bad that you just laugh your ass off.
Right, and they were phoning it in the whole time.
Well, I think like halfway through the last season, Zach Braff's like, "Fuck this, I'm out," and then he came back again. Yeah. So I was like, "What am I watching here?"
They're like, "We don't know." Teaching hospital, sure, fine, whatever. But no, I mean, it's funny. It's also ridiculously sad at points, but they still try to make it funny at points.
Yeah, the episodes with Brendan Fraser. Oh yeah, that stuff is like that's probably like that's like sadder than like BoJack shit.
Oh, it hurts every time watching.
Yep.
That.
Well, your wife is dunking on you right now.
I know. She always does. But
wow, what a loser.
John C. McGinley, who I met at a Sox game once,
really?
is so damn good at that show. Yeah, he was with Chris Chelios. He's so good as Dr. Cox in that show, and his rants are epic. And then the fact that they make fun of his rants in the show is even funnier.
I always love the janitor.
Oh yeah.
And then like just like there's like little things that they do. I'm sorry.
Was he real?
Was the janitor real? And what was his name?
Jan Etor.
Yeah, Jan Etor. Dr. Jan Etor.
The episode where they see him in The Fugitive.
Yeah, I saw you last night in The Fugitive.
Was great. Kimball. So next time I run into you at a ball game or whatever, Sam, we need to do the Eagle.
Eagle.
Okay. What do we got next, Al?
I think I'm gonna go with How I Met Your Mother. I just recently finished watching this through for the very first time. Ted is the worst.
I fucking hate Ted Mosby. Ted Mosby is the biggest jackass ever.
He's one of the worst characters.
Barney and Robin forever. They were endgame.
Robin's the best.
God, I loved them all.
That's another good. Those like five work so well together.
I also just like love. I mean, Ted is the worst, but also like the dynamic of him being this like third wheel in this like relationship between like his two college best friends is also just great.
It just continues to drag on.
Yeah.
At what point do you feel bad for him at any point in that show? I don't think I do.
No, he does it to himself. But I think like at some point in the show that like wasn't the bit, but then it like got to a point where I feel like it was like, we're just gonna keep doing this because you need to kind of hate someone. I feel like they were trying to make Barney more likable towards the end. Yeah,
I actually saw that. But they humanized him though, like he learned and he grew, you know. But yeah, that show, I think that's the last good like studio formula sitcom. where like those shows with like the live audience, the laugh track, all that shit. That's like the last one in my opinion. I don't really think anything else has really come out using that kind of formula that was that funny.
Yeah, that ever since the glass shattering moment of that 70s show using the laugh track too much, and then I rewatched How I Met Your Mother, and it just completely ruined it for me. I used to love that show, and then I was like, you can only hear it now.
It gets hard to watch now. Like even when you watch shows like Friends, like you're like, this is weird. But
they're pushing it, and you're just like, I can't hear anything else.
The last season isn't even that bad. It's just the last 15 minutes of the last episode that like really made me so mad.
Yeah, that pissed a lot of people off. I honestly didn't have a problem with it. I think it was real, but yeah, I mean, what do you expect at the end there? Like,
I guess I don't know. Yeah,
they've gone back to each other like 3 times, and then what are they going to do that in their 60s now?
That's the bit. You just got to keep it going.
Just keep it going. Be cool, lady. Damn.
All right. Do I have the next one too?
You do. Yeah, we're going round 5 here.
All right. This is my my own personal feel good classic. I don't really care what anyone else thinks about this pick. I'm going with Boy Meets World.
Oh, that's such a good one.
Is this our feel good round? Did we just make new rules?
Did we just make it up as we went?
Feel good round. I'm going to pick Forensic Files.
This show, they the actors that play Topanga and Sean and Eric Matthews just started their rewatch podcast, and it is so good. Like having context to these episodes and like just hearing them talk about their experience, I feel like just like made the show even better for me.
I own the whole series on DVD.
I do too, Sam. I got it as a Christmas present, and I literally cried over it. I was so excited.
And 3 years later, it was on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
I was like, oh shit!
Except there's banned episodes on Disney Plus, and they're out of order. So, they also talked about some really going back and watching it as an adult. There were some really heavy topics that they conquered in really phenomenal ways. Like, it's just good TV too.
Cool.
Oh
yeah, I don't have a lot to add. I mean, I've seen Boy Meets World, but I when it aired, I was a little too old for it. So I didn't really have that emotional connection to it.
Honestly, I think if you like sitcoms, 4-camera sitcoms, it would still hit.
Does it? Okay. I'm going to give it another shot.
The mom and dad are really good in the early seasons, and then as they get older into college, obviously the kids take more off, but it's phenomenal.
All right, according to Baloney, you just won the draft.
It's so good. According to Panga Forever.
Yeah, Big Van Vader was on Boy Meets World.
Yeah, Adam Scott got his start. Well, not his start, but that was one of the first kind of bigger roles he played.
He's one of the high school bullies.
Harley.
So she doesn't like your pick, Sam, but she's very supportive of everyone else's.
Yeah, she only likes what I like too, so she doesn't get to talk. She doesn't watch something unless I tell her to watch it.
So Jackie's gonna pick you as the worst ever. All right, Sam, what do you got here for round 5?
Well, I'm between 2, and I saw Luke in the chat mention the one of the 2 I was in between, and I think I'm going to go with it. That's Workaholics.
Okay. I haven't watched that one all the way through. From what I have seen of it, only pretty much a handful of episodes. I thought it was pretty damn hilarious.
Which is all you really need to watch.
Yeah, it seems like one of those shows that you can just pick up wherever and it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. there's nothing you really.
Those are the best. Those are the best. Yeah.
Other than Durs and being battle with Carl all the time. It's just it's goofy and dumb, and it's so funny.
Yeah, the
There.
characters are they flow together really well.
Jackie is so unhinged right now in the chat.
Jackie's always unhinged in the chat.
We love Jackie.
She's got kids at home. This is her chance to go off script, you know?
This is her interaction for the week.
Oh man. All right, Celeste. Let's go round 5 here.
Jackie, I'm doing it for you. I'm picking Seinfeld.
You just won.
Ugh.
Here, I haven't used this before. I'm going to use it right now, real quick. Hang on. I don't agree with that. I'm just kidding, but
I agree.
I just wanted to use that for Sam's purpose here. I think Seinfeld I was going to take. So you snatched it up right before I took it.
I should have gone earlier.
It definitely should have. And just kind of, I kind of played my hand with you guys being a little younger than when Seinfeld was popular. So, I was going to sit until this round and grab it. But yeah, the whole thing is they're just all 4 of them just put it together, man. George Costanza is one of the best characters in the history of television. Not just comedy, television in general. I was doing a little bit of research the other day, and they used to put George in shirts that were like 2 sizes too small to make him look uncomfortable.
Marge shifting into soup mode.
There's no New Girl without Seinfeld. I mean, probably, but they all lived in one apartment.
I'm pretty sure Sam's gonna take Seinfeld again pretty soon in the next round.
I told him it was going to be picked soon. Also, Celeste, Roxy's calling you out for talking up BoJack Horseman and not picking it.
Have you ever heard of Hustling? Wow. I wanted one of you to take it from me. Also, great show though. You should watch it.
But I'm not.
See, I don't even honestly. And we could talk about it a little more after because I always like to go over stuff that wasn't drafted. But BoJack Horseman, I don't even know if that's a comedy. Like it's so
depressing as shit.
It's
I love
so
it.
fucking depressing. Oh yeah, no, it's great, but it's like I'm gonna watch this.
Depression is kind of funny if you're depressed. So like.
Not wrong.
It reminds me of when I watched Requiem for a Dream. It was really fucking good, but I was in fetal position in the corner 15 minutes later.
Yes. What is life if you can't just laugh at yourself?
Exactly.
I'm gonna wear a shirt that says "I just killed myself after watching BoJack Horseman."
Christ.
Okay, this is a good quote from Marge.
Celeste spaghetti.
Put that shit on a t-shirt.
Celeste is cooking with kerosene. I don't get it, Kevin. All right. Let's go here. You guys took all the good ones.
Isn't that the point?
Yeah. So this is a show that I hadn't watched in 25 years until recently when my wife finally wanted to watch it. It still holds up. It's ridiculous. The whole subject matter is ridiculous, but I'm gonna go with Golden Girls.
Right on.
That was on my list of shows of have never watched, would draft.
Oh my god, it's so damn funny. Like they feed off each other so well. There's some scenes with Betty White where she improvises and you can see them lose their shit while she's talking about just God knows what. And they just kept it in the show because it was so good. I went to a Golden Girls drag brunch last year, and it was like the funnest time I've ever had in my life. They were fucking great. They were singing songs, dancing, obviously, and it was phenomenal. But yeah, I'm going Golden Girls with the last one. So we're gonna let's talk real quick before we go into the worst television show of all time. About shows that we missed. Do you guys have any on your lists that you wanted to mention?
I have several on my list.
Okay. Go ahead, Sam.
Futurama was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think you should leave with Tim Robinson. The League, Freaks and Geeks.
I had The League. I had Freaks and Geeks. Yep.
Malcolm in the Middle was on there as well. So
I love the mom and Malcolm in the Middle.
Oh, Jane Kismer's amazing.
So good. Anybody else?
I had Freaks and Geeks on there too, but I didn't know if that fell in is that a comedy straight?
That's what I struggled with. I didn't pick it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also had Sex Education.
Yes.
I haven't watched it yet. Brandy said it was hilarious.
So good.
It's so good. And if you're a fan of the X-Files, then you should definitely watch it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Good one, Bill, with Mr. Show. That one's.
I had Kids in the Hall on my list too.
Kids in the Hall's phenomenal. Have you seen the new ones?
No, I haven't watched them yet.
I haven't watched it either. Yeah, obviously. We actually had a conversation when we were coming up with if we were going to do any guidelines or rules. And one of the things we had thought about, but we didn't end up doing was making it a requirement to pick a cast of SNL or a time frame of SNL. I am doing an SNL episode at some point, but we're going to do characters. So I guess we could do sketches too. That would be fun as well. But
yeah, I had several sketches on my list.
King of the Hill, Community was on my list.
Store is good.
I'm purposely not mentioning Faulty Towers again. Marge mentioned, she already tweeted out Superstore as well as Roseanne.
Oh yeah, Caitlin wanted
30 Rock. No one picked
30 Rock, yes.
Yeah.
30 Rock I was thinking about when I went to pick Golden Girls. Tracy Jordan on 30 Rock. Oh my god.
This show's too new for me to confidently draft because it's only had 2 seasons, but Abbott Elementary is very good.
I've heard that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, My Name is Earl. That's a good one, Kate.
Yep. What else did I have? I made the craziest list. Rick and Morty, obviously. Brooklyn Nine-Nine is absolutely hilarious if you haven't watched it. And then you got some older stuff like The Munsters. You got Addams Family. Modern Family is pretty funny.
Modern Family is a good one.
Married with Children, which is going to help me segue into my pick for the worst show ever. So I'm going to go first, and I'm going to pick. And I forgot the fucking name of the show again, Sam. No, it's called. I'm just kidding. Has anybody ever seen Unhappily Ever After? Okay, so this is what Unhappily Ever After is. It's Married with Children. It's the same fucking show. They use the same set even. They had the super cute daughter, which was played by Nikki Cox on Unhappily Ever After, and then the son, which was played by the dude who played E on Entourage.
Oh yeah.
And then for some reason, because they wanted it to be a little different from Married with Children, they added, and this is where it becomes the worst show ever, but it's also one of those it's great bad. There is a talking stuffed rabbit voiced by Bobcat Goldthwait. It's absolutely terrible. And yeah, I felt like I said to you guys before we started recording, it was one of those shows that I thought didn't exist and I imagined it. That's how fucking terrible it was. Because I just thought that it just did not exist, because that's just how terrible it was.
I look forward to watching it.
The
Really
whole
solid,
yeah,
really cool.
when you and I were talking about it last week, I found the entire series on YouTube. So
Perfect. I know what I'm doing tonight.
damn. All right, Celeste, what's the worst comedy series ever?
You're muted, Celeste.
Uh-oh, Celeste, you're muted.
God damn it.
There you go.
I have two that I'm trying really hard to decide between. One of them I feel very strong. Actually, I feel very strongly about both of them. But I think one of them is going to be a winner in this round, and I think it's going to be Friends. Friends is fucking trash.
Friends sucks. Another laugh track show. Terrible.
I see both sides of it. I think that there's some stuff that's absolutely hilarious in it. I think it's really well acted, but yeah, the writing's rough.
My other one was going to be Broad City, just for the record. I hate that show. It sucks.
You know what I didn't like about Friends is there were a lot of scenarios where someone was gay and they made it as like something was inappropriate or wrong. There is a lot of times in that show that happens.
Yeah, well, gays didn't become cool until like 2016, so it is. We were not commodities. There you go, Bill.
They also could have just like straight up given more screen time to Ross's ex-wife, who was a lesbian. Like they conveniently just kind of like wrote that whole part of Ross's life just like off the show.
And then Chandler's mom or dad was was trans, and they made it like he was they kind of made it like he was a bad person. But it was the dialogue was funny, but the subject matter was weird. It just
I didn't even think the dialogue was that funny. I don't know. I just thought the whole thing sucked. Like from point A to Z, I just think the whole show sucked.
You know what I thought was funny is Brandy fought watching it her whole life, and then she watched it a couple years ago, and now she thinks it's funny. So I don't. It's just like one of those like. It's the extreme end of both sides.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Sam, what do you got, bud?
What do you think he's gonna say?
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah,
he's gonna pick
Christmas Carol.
He's gonna pick Small Wonder.
It's so easy to hate Seinfeld because it's a show about nothing and it really shows up on screen that it's about nothing and it sucks. Larry David doesn't even want to talk about Seinfeld anymore. He's over it too. He's been over it. Jerry Seinfeld wanted it to end, but Larry David made it end. That show runs on Comedy Central and I immediately turn it off. I'm like, no, get out of here. I was enjoying my day. I was enjoying South Park until this came on. Turn it off immediately. Find anything else.
Jackie thinks we're breaking the rules, by the way.
Yeah, Sam, I think you're disqualified.
Yeah, right.
Roxy, I just want to let you know I'm very disappointed in you.
Roxy, I thought we were in this together.
Remember, I'm number one on Roxy's list, so.
I know.
I've never been disappointed in Roxy before. I am today.
I every time I hear it in the background when I'm in a meeting, I'm like, what am I listening to other than forced laughter from a fake crowd?
Oh, man,
why are you hearing Seinfeld in the back of a meeting? Where do you work?
Because it just Comedy Central is just on. I work from home. Comedy Central is just on in the background, and South Park ends, and that comes on, and I'm like, oh, what's just got really whiny and complainy in here? And it's Jerry Seinfeld talking, which was why I was very upset in the graphic that I was Seinfeld. Come on.
What's the deal with Sam's draft?
Yeah.
No, he is a horrible actor.
Yeah.
It works because the other three are so great at what they do. Except Michael Richards a prick, but yeah, they actually wanted to pull the plug on that show like twice while they were doing the pilot, and then they decided to go with it. So they didn't think that it would play with people, but it's still, I believe, the highest rated. The finale, which is fucking terrible, by the way, is still the highest rated TV show sitcom ever.
All you old heads need to get over it.
Jordan's not old.
Jordan has an old soul.
She really does.
He really does. Jordan's
Jordan
like,
on
what
this show sometime. Okay, Al, last pick in the draft.
All right. I hate The Office. And that is my pick.
It comes full circle, Sam. Fuck you.
I'm still winning.
I don't think so.
No,
I
Brian.
can't get like I know that Parks and Rec and The Office were created by the same person. I can't get like The Office is just like 2 notches cringier with the like interview pan camera, and I just can't do it. And the jokes, just like this super dry landing of jokes, just it doesn't land for me.
That's what she said.
I don't feel that way with that show, but I can see what you mean. I also hate some of the times when Michael Scott gets himself so deep in something, and you get so like your anxiety picks up watching Michael Scott just dig his hole more and more and more and more.
I struggle with secondhand embarrassment when watching shows like that. Like I can't.
Best part about
I cannot physically like watch something that I have secondhand embarrassment for. So then I can turn it off. So I do. Sorry, Brian.
Everyone's mad. Nobody
You're
picked Big Bang Theory. That
apologizing?
if I didn't pick Seinfeld, Big Bang Theory was going to be there.
Oh man. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna let's go ahead and wrap this up. I wanted to real quick. I'm gonna do shameless plug here for we have an Etsy store. We got shirts, we got hats, we got sweatshirts, we got them all. So head on over to etsy.com/shop/the tainted glove. So I want to go ahead and also thank you guys for being on the show. It was a good one here. Why don't you real quick, each of you, plug your Twitters and whatnot. Al.
Yeah, you can find me at Baseball Gal Al. Do a little writing for Southside Sox and Ass. It's a good time.
All right, Sam.
Yeah, at Sam R33V3S because the other Sam Reeve stole my name. Jerk. You can also follow at All Sports Scene, where the 3 of us are a part of, and all our stuff is coming out. We'll have some new stuff coming up here in a couple weeks, so stay tuned for that.
Ass.
We love ass. Yeah,
right,
follow me, C_spaghetti1 because C_spaghetti was taken. And also follow ass. We write unserious stuff and we have a great time doing it.
Awesome.
If it's stupid, it's for us.
Yep.
There's some poo content in there as well for those that are interested.
Shout out to Sam for having the only piece of ass merch.
Thanks, Mom.
Sam is a piece of ass. That's right.
That's right.
She said merch. Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. And thank you everybody in the chat for watching. I am the Magnificent Stan, otherwise known as Brian. You can find me at Magnificent Stan on Twitter. You can find the show at Getting Drafty Pod on Twitter, as well as on Spotify and Apple Pods. We are part of the Tainted Glove Network, and I appreciate you guys being here today. Have a great night.
Seinfeld sucks.
It doesn't.
Vote for me.
Buddy, don't wait for me.
All right.